Winning numbers are 18, 55, 39, 71, and 43.
43?
Those numbers again.
We won! Yes!
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
I'll hold on to that.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
I don't need a man. I don't have a void to fill.
Tomorrow, Kristen Cavallari Uncensored.
Would we call this an ET exclusive? That's what we would call it.
Happening now.
San Antonio, one of many political battlegrounds around the state, now that Democrat Beto O'Rourke has announced he is challenging Republican incumbent Governor Greg Abbott. That story coming up.
Do you know your credit score? There are a lot of credit score apps right now, but coming up, what you should know before you use one.
It's been a bit warm over the last couple of days, but we do have a cold front on the way. Coming up, we'll talk about that and whether or not we have any rain chances. The news at 5 starts right now.
And first at 5, we have late breaking news. EMS and San Antonio Fire responding to a call for a car that crashed right into a fence near a home on the city's west side. This picture showing that car on its side. It's a live look at the scene right now. This is the 2700 block of West Martin Street. Fire officials say this happened a little more than 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, we're told he did not actually hit the house, but looks like he came pretty close. Fire officials also say the driver of that car was trapped in his vehicle. He had to be rescued, taken to the hospital. His condition unknown at this time, but can you imagine being in that house as this car comes barreling through the fence? First at 5, the speculation over. Democrat Beto O'Rourke of El Paso has declared he is running for governor.
The former congressman, presidential candidate, and Senate nominee came close to beating U.S. Senator Ted Cruz back in 2018. Now he says he's ready to face Republican incumbent Governor Greg Abbott.
And as Jesse Degollado reports, the race less than a day old, and already each side has come out swinging.
I'm running for governor, and I want to tell you why.
In his announcement on Twitter, Democrat Beto O'Rourke quickly pointed to last year's deadly winter storm, which paralyzed much of the state, leaving millions without heat or power.
They were abandoned by those who were elected to serve and look out for them.
While in Floresville Tuesday, Governor Abbott didn't mention that. Instead, he used the record number of undocumented immigrants as an example of what he says his new Democratic opponent would do if elected.
He stands for these open border policies that have led to nothing but chaos.
As for O'Rourke's progressive stands in his races for president and U.S. Senator,
they weren't just at odds with Texans. They were hostile to Texans.
While the incumbent governor is criticized for moving farther to the right.
They're focusing on the kind of extremist policies around abortion or permitless carry or even in our schools that really only divide us.
That kind of back and forth, says a UTSA political scientist, is just for starters.
I think the dynamics of the race are going to be different. It's not going to be Beto mania this time.
Both candidates, says Wilson, are proven fundraisers, one shoring up his conservative base, the other trying to stoke the fervor of his past races. What role could San Antonio play in what could be a heated race between Abbott and O'Rourke?
San Antonio's turnout, especially on the south and west side, is historically fairly weak. And so, the potential to be a game changer is there.
In a race Wilson predicts will draw national attention. Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
And the Republican National Committee releasing this statement following O'Rourke's announcement saying, quote, the Republican Party looks forward to defeating Beto O'Rourke and his radical leftist ideas for a third term. Gilberto Hinojosa, who is the head of the Texas Democratic Party, continues to push the twice rejected O'Rourke because Texas Democrats have no bench, no infrastructure, no hope, and no plan, end quote.
Also at that conference you saw the governor at in Floresville, State Representative Ryan Guillen, he announced that he is going to be switching his political party. Guillen has been a long-time Democrat representing Rio Grande City, but is now changing to Republican. His decision comes after redistricting turned Guillen's district from a Republican-leaning district to solidly red.
What police are calling a road rage shooting has put a woman in the hospital tonight. They still have not found the shooter. It happened just after 7 this morning near I-35 and Theo Avenue. That's on the south side. San Antonio police say a man fired a gun at a woman in another vehicle because he thought she'd cut him off. The 29-year-old woman jumped into the back seat to shield her 7-year-old daughter. She was hit in the back by a bullet. The woman was taken to University Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police are still searching for that shooting suspect.
A woman is charged with arson after police say that she threw a Molotov cocktail at her boyfriend's company car, and she didn't stop there. 35-year-old Sierra Flores arrested yesterday. According to SAPD, the whole thing was captured on surveillance video. Flores was seen lighting a trash can on fire and then setting it under the car. The fire caused damage to the driver's side and the tires. Flores later told investigators she drove to a corner store afterward to wash the gas scent off her hands.
A man and woman recovering after a rollover crash. It happened around 1 this morning on Loop 410, just before Bandera Road on the city's northwest side. San Antonio police say a man driving at a high rate of speed when he lost control of his car and drove off the highway. The man's car ended up rolling into parked cars near a car lot. Firefighters had to rescue the man and woman after they were pinned inside the vehicle. The pair taken to University Hospital. It's unclear if alcohol was a factor in this crash.
Well, it was a nice day outside, a little bit on the warm side, as you can tell from our weather watchers. At 83 in Del Rio, 78 in Schertz, in Seguin, 80 degrees, 80 in Floresville, closer to the metro area, 78 in Bulverde, 78 in Canyon Lake, and 80 down in Lavernia. Now, we are expected to have a fairly mild evening. It's not necessarily going to get chilly this evening after the sun sets here shortly. Temperatures will be in the 60s, and clouds will increase late tonight. We'll start the day tomorrow with fog. A couple more warm days in our forecast before our next cold front arrives. We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. Ursula?
Thank you, Sarah. In a matter of weeks, the city of Seguin should have a much clearer picture of the state of its streets.
Yeah, our Samuel King joins us now. Sam, it's all thanks to new technology.
It allows the city, Steve and Ursula, to survey the streets in a matter of days, not weeks. This vehicle was out last week in a partnership with the companies ESP and Roadway Asset Services. It uses cameras and lasers to get what's known as a street's Pavement Condition Index, or PCI.
Once we get it done, we'll be able to tell anybody that calls in what their classification of street is and what the PCI is, and we can tell them approximately when we would put any type of application to the streets they live on.
And that allows the city to be more proactive in fixing streets instead of reactive. That analysis should be ready in just a few weeks. As for the evening commute, watching a few things here and there, including on Loop 410. It looks fine at Loop 410 in Ingram, but you don't have to go too far this evening to find a crash. There's one reported here at Highway 90 and Loop 410. You see some slowdowns westbound on 90 and then southbound there on Loop 410. So here's what that's doing to your travel time this evening. 9 minutes between 151 and Ray Ellison, 6 minutes heading the other way. Also a crash now reported at I-37 and I-10. Steve, Ursula.
Thank you so much, Samuel. After the largest 12-month jump in inflation in the last 30 years, President Joe Biden is signing a $1 trillion infrastructure bill into law. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest on that from the White House.
Surrounded by members of Congress from both parties, President Biden signing into law the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. Before a crowd of hundreds on a windy White House South lawn, the president said with this legislation, Washington is showing it can deliver for the American people.
Today, we're finally getting this done. So my message to the American people is this: America's moving again, and your life is going to change for the better.
The law sets aside $110 billion to repair aging highways and bridges, $65 billion for high-speed internet, and $39 billion for public transportation. The bill signing comes at a critical time for President Biden. A new ABC News Washington Post poll shows the president's approval ratings at a new low, just 41%. Just 39% of Americans saying they approve of his handling of the economy. But the president's signature policy initiatives are more popular right now than he is. 63% of Americans Americans say they support the bipartisan infrastructure bill, and 58% say they support the nearly $2 trillion social spending bill that's still being negotiated among Democrats. 13 House Republicans and 19 Senate Republicans voted for the infrastructure bill, but only a handful attended the signing ceremony.
Is the president frustrated that more Republicans aren't coming so he can highlight, actually with everybody around him, the bipartisan work that went into this bill?
Really what is most important to the American people is what we do from here and how it's going to impact them and make their lives better, less than the attendance at a bill signing.
President Biden now hits the road to sell the infrastructure package and try to get some credit for it. On Tuesday, he heads to New Hampshire to promote funding to repair bridges. On Wednesday, he's traveling to Detroit to talk about money for electric vehicle charging stations. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
In the newsroom with a look at what we are working on for 6 o'clock today. He is out of jail now and his late wife's family is struggling. Andre McDonald, the man accused in the murder and disappearance of his wife, Andreen McDonald, has bonded out of jail. Andreen's family says that is yet another blow after their lives were turned upside down when Andreen was reported missing in 2019. Coming up at 6 o'clock, how a local nonprofit is helping them through this as the trial in this murder case gets closer. Plus, it's unimaginable, yet so many parents live it, losing a child. Metro Health is working to educate parents on prevention, especially when it comes to SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome. We talked to one couple who's been using Metro Health services, and they want others to know what it has done for them. Their story and more coming your way in less than an hour here at 6 o'clock. Ursula and Steve.
Thank you, Myra. New at 5. Do you know your credit score? Well, they're used for everything from getting a mortgage to getting a job. Apps promising instant access to your score are popular, but do they work? 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz with what you should know before you click.
Credit score apps like Credit Karma, Experian Credit Report, and others promise instant access to credit scores, along with other features like score monitoring. Sounds good, but a Consumer Reports investigation into 5 of these apps revealed significant drawbacks and few upsides.
Our investigation showed that these credit apps pose serious privacy risks. And what's worse is that our survey of consumers who use these apps reveal that in some cases, they don't even provide an accurate credit score.
What they found, 4 of the 5 apps often charge users for access to their credit reports, which consumers are legally entitled to for free, while really not providing access to the type of credit scores that most lenders use.
Several of the apps use the Vantage Score 3.0, which has really limited value because a lot of lenders don't even use it.
Right now, there's a bill in Congress that would require consumers be given access to a free and accurate credit score. But so far, that's not been scheduled for a vote. Consumer Reports asked all 5 credit app companies about their privacy, data collection, and sharing practices. Each responded saying they take consumer privacy very seriously and that consumer trust is paramount to their business. There are ways to get your credit score without using a credit score app. Check to see if your bank or credit card company offers access. And remember, you can check your credit report for free through annualcreditreport.com. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Coming up, the pandemic put a lot more people out of doors, and a local golf course is seeing the benefits of that. A look at the multi-million-dollar makeover next.
Plus, the oldest site at the Alamo finally reopened, what a team of archaeologists uncovered while they were investigating the building's condition. Next. The oldest building on the historic site at the Alamo now back open to visitors. The Alamo Long Barrack has been closed for the last 2 years for preservation work. Well, during that time, a team was using state-of-the-art technology to assess the condition of that building. The team able to look at the foundation of the structure, something that had never been seen before. The team also discovered that the Long Barrack's walls were decorated at one point in history.
When we started taking excavations down, she was able to find intact pieces of painted plaster on the wall itself inside the Long Barrack. So what we found out is that the Long Barrack was decorated during the mission period.
New programs showing the archaeologists working on the barrack and what they discovered are available throughout the holidays. The Long Barrack was built more than 300 years ago.
One of San Antonio's 4 public golf courses has now received a multi-million-dollar facelift. The Almost Basin golf course reopening for the first time this month after undergoing a $4 million renovation. President and CEO of Alamo City Golf Trails, Andrew Peterson, says the Almost project was a product of the pandemic. So many people were looking for safe outdoor activities, so golfing grew by about 30%. That's when they decided to make an investment, but getting it done was challenging.
It was daunting, to say the least. This was a challenging project from the standpoint of we had snow in February and freezes in February and multiple floods.
The Almost Basin golf course has been open since 1963. You can read more about it, about the renovation in particular, on KSAT.com.
It is right on the other side of 281 from the Quarry Market.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the golf course that's underwater when it floods here.
Yeah. Maybe
Remember
they
that?
changed that, though, too. By the way, speaking of water, how about frozen water?
Yeah, check
An
that out.
ice skating rink getting prepared. I can't actually tell if there's ice on it yet or not, but this is Travis Park.
And that's where the Christmas tree is going to go.
Right next to it, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's all ready. And, of course, when the tree arrives, we will be there.
Yeah, and of course it's 79 degrees while we're talking about making ice.
Yeah, I've been actually skating at that ice park before, and I think it was like 80 degrees outside when I was out there. It felt great on the ice, but once you step off, it was a little warm. And it's been a little warm today, especially compared to what is average for this time of year. Let's take a look outside. A beautiful sunset ongoing right now with clear skies. High temperature, 80 degrees, 8 degrees above the average, and will be a few degrees warmer even tomorrow. Now, early this morning, we got down to 54, which is warmer than seasonably average as well. And we had areas of fog this morning. In fact, I'm showing you the satellite picture here. We had a very well-defined cloud deck for most of the morning west of I-35, and that had some fog in it as well. That finally dissipated close to about lunchtime. And guess what? We're going to have a very similar forecast tomorrow. Ditto weather tomorrow, as I like to call it. All right, looking at the humidity tracker, we're going to see continuing increases in the humidity by a couple of degrees over the next 24 hours or so. Dew points are right at that borderline muggy range, close to 60 degrees. Temperatures can only cool down to the dew point, and so by the start of the morning tomorrow, we'll be looking at temperatures in the upper 50s, and once again, ditto weather. We're going to be looking at some fog and some clouds, especially along and west of I-35. That should dissipate right around lunch, and then we'll have abundant sunshine during the second half of the day tomorrow, and it'll be warm, a couple degrees warmer than today. 85 for the high in Del Rio, 83 in Eagle Pass, 85 in Carrizo Springs. Where the clouds stick around a little bit longer, like up in the hill country, temperatures should actually stay in the upper 70s, 77 for the high in Kerrville, 82 for the high in Gonzales, 80 in New Braunfels, and here in San Antonio we'll be close to 82 degrees as well. Now on the radar and satellite across the nation, fairly quiet across the Central Plains. Much of the area in New England and the Northeast getting their first snow of the season. And here though, we're seeing our weather impacted by a high pressure system to our east. That's increasing that Gulf moisture for us. And really, we're in the warm corridor of the United States this week. The cold corridor off across the east, temperatures are in the 30s. And our next cold front, though, set to shake things up, is currently over the Pacific. It's going to be moving through Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And if you've been hoping for some good rain, unfortunately, this cold front, like the last one, will only offer a shot at isolated showers, and even an isolated storm is going to be possible. This is a look at Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. That front will move through, and temperatures are going to be quite a bit cooler on Thursday than what we've been dealing with over the last couple of days. We're probably going to stay in the 60s for the day on Thursday. So that's more fall-like and sweater weather out there for us on Thursday. But until then, enjoy the warmer weather if you like a little bit of warmth in your forecast. Patchy fog tomorrow morning, 60 degrees as we start the day, then clearing skies, 77 at noon, 82 for the high temperature, sunny and warm and breezy. Winds are going to be from from the south at 10 to 20, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. And then we'll have another ditto day on Wednesday before that front moves through Wednesday night into Thursday morning, bringing us breezy and cooler conditions. We'll be struggling to get out of the 60s through Friday, and then we'll have a mild weekend in the forecast. Ursula?
Thank you, Sarah. That truly is a cool front for a change. Thank you.
Yeah, you know, I could be wrong, but I think the Cowboys took some anger out on Atlanta.
Yeah.
Anger management.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, a redemption game is exactly what they needed. They took the ball, by the way, on the opening coin toss, marched it downfield to make that statement. When we come back, how do the Cowboys feel about the redemption game they played? Look at that, even on special teams. And a rocky start to the Spurs road trip coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
After playing their worst game of the season, the Dallas Cowboys responded by playing their best against the Atlanta Falcons. Dak Prescott rebounded from arguably the worst game of his career to lead the Cowboys at 296 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of them to CeeDee Lamb. Prescott even scored on the ground by lowering his shoulder to get into the end zone. Ezekiel Elliott had 2 touchdowns on the day as the Cowboys built a 33-point lead at halftime. Even the Cowboys special teams came up with a touchdown off a blocked punt by Dorrance Armstrong that rolls into the end zone to recover by Nashawn Wright, same player that touched last week's block punt against the Broncos, stayed in Denver ball, not today. And along the way, defensive coordinator Dan Quinn got revenge on the team that fired him, while Micah Parsons picked up another sack, and the Dallas D came up 3 interceptions, including 1 for Trayvon Diggs, who now has 8 in the Cowboys' first 9 games. The Cowboys are now 7-2 after their 40-point rout, 43-3, one of only 4 teams in the NFC right now with just 2 losses.
We're not going to get overconfident again. That's what a game like last week does for you, leaves that taste in your mouth and keeps you humbled, and make sure that you stay hungry and that you don't get too ahead of yourself. And so we're going to continue to get better. We're going to use this one and learn from it, grow from it, celebrate it, obviously, but move forward and turn the page to the Chiefs next week.
We are that team. We are that team. I think that's a statement we made, but we just got to make sure that we continue on this path. We can't have any setbacks. We can't have any drop balls. We just gotta, make sure we learn from this one, get better from it, and come out and do even better next week.
All right, next up, a road trip to Kansas City to face the Chiefs Sunday afternoon at 3:25. Our San Antonio Spurs got their 3-game road trip off to a rocky start with a loss to the Lakers in Los Angeles, even without LeBron James still nursing an abdominal strain. You had to be encouraged, though, to see what the Spurs were in this game from start to finish. And when they got down by 14 points in the second half, they fought back behind DeJounte Murray's triple-double with 22 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. One of his assists is to Doug McDermott, who hits the 3 to cut the Lakers' lead all the way down to 2, 105-103. But Anthony Davis scored 34, and Carmelo Anthony helped slam the door shut with a 3, and the Spurs fall 114-106.
It's like we right there. It's so tough. I'm not a loser. I'm a winner as an individual, but I believe a lot of guys in that locker room is winners too. So, it's really frustrating.
They don't have to go far for their next game. It'll be against the LA Clippers tomorrow in LA at 9:30. Hopefully they can turn it around quickly.
Yeah, I don't like this trend where they get close.
No, you got to win.
You got to win.
You got to win.
Thanks, Greg.
We'll be right back. Thanks so much for watching the News at 5 with us.
World News up next. We'll see you back here at 6.